of this game. Guys, talk about absolute cinema. Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid. One of the best matches I've seen in a while in the Champions League. And before we start talking about that and obviously the Arsenal Sporting game, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're coming to the tail end of the season, to that crunch time in the Champions League and in the seasons. So we're going to be coming out with a lot more videos in the future. So guys, please make sure to subscribe and tune in. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see from me as well. I love doing these videos. I can talk about football 24/7. I do anyways. That's my whole life, man. I love football. So thank you guys as well for always tuning in. It's absolutely been a pleasure doing all this. But guys, Champions League, second leg. Obviously, you know what happened yesterday. I'm trying to block that out with Barcelona losing. But today, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich and Arsenal versus Sporting. Two completely different games. One, an action-packed thriller game. The other one had people sleeping during the match. I'm not sure what game you guys were watching, but I'm hoping that you were actually watching the Bayern Madrid game, because that was, I was off my seat the whole time from the first minute. But yeah, I guess let's start off with the Arsenal and Sporting game. And guys, I'm not lying, that was my actual reaction of the game. Thankfully, I also had the Bayern and Madrid game on my big screen, so I can actually be entertained watching this sport. Because this Arsenal versus Sporting game, how do you go in a quarterfinals matchup at home, only 1-0 in aggregate, to finish off the second leg 0-0? Are we talking, is this seriously a quarterfinals matchup? Seriously, I can't believe this is something I have to talk about. Like, there's nothing to talk about. 0-0 in the match, Arsenal at home. You would think that Arsenal at home, the first half only one goal, first leg, you would come home with all the pressure you have, obviously losing in the Premier League just recently, these titles that are flying past you here and there, the pressure, the fans, the football media, all on you. You would want to perform and just shut everyone up. But no, as I expected, this haram football that Arteta has this team playing, all they want to do is they don't want to go out and win the game. Their objective in every single game is just to not lose. They don't want to win, and that's the crazy mentality to have, man. I can't believe this is a team that, you know, is doing so well. You know, like it's the mentality of a loser, seriously. And to all Arsenal fans out there, I'm sorry that you have to watch such terrible football, haram football, but this is not football, man. This right here is not football, because football at its, you know, peak, at its most simplest form, is about entertaining the fans. And a 0-0 matchup in the quarterfinal second leg at home, and you can't give us that? Oh, please, God, please. We cannot have Arsenal win any single title this year, because they do not deserve it. They don't deserve it. This is not football right here. I was not entertained. I saw people posting videos of them sleeping during the game because of how boring it was. But let's talk about it, man. I guess let's see what we can kind of nitpick from this game, because there wasn't much to say. 50-50 ball possession for both teams at the end of the game. 15 total shots for Arsenal, 8 for Sporting, 1 big chance each. So again, that just tells you all about the game here. Besides that, like, nothing really crazy. I think Trossard had 1 chance to hit it off the post. Sporting did the best they can. Mendy got man of the match, a 7.9 rating. 7.9 rating and man of the match. That just shows, terrible football. But guys, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Does this Arsenal team look like a team that can go and win the Champions League? Does this Arsenal team look like a team that can go win the Premier League? Can you imagine Arsenal against PSG? Can you imagine Arsenal against Bayern? Can you imagine if Arsenal had to come up against Barcelona? Thankfully, they're coming up against Atletico Madrid, which, again, that game right there, Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid is actually going to be a semifinals matchup in the Champions League. Talk about a snooze fest of a match. Oh my gosh. Thankfully, on the other side, we're going to have a lot more excitement to watch. But this game right here, man, just proves why Arsenal are not built for these moments, man. And I don't see them, to be honest, I don't see them beating Atletico Madrid either. I just don't. I think they should just call this season a wraps, man. Like, it's funny to say that because they're in the semifinals of the Champions League and they're in first place in the Premier League. But it's just not good football that can last and sustain. You can't sustain yourself with this type of football, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys think Arsenal actually have a chance to winning the Champions League this season? I mean, they definitely got the easier side of the bracket, so it actually still pains me that Barcelona didn't win yesterday, but that's football for you, man. The best team doesn't always win. But yeah, guys, let's move on to the actual good game in this quarterfinals matchup today. Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid was everything I was expecting in this second leg. Absolute cinema, just like the meme. And it started from minute one. Oh my gosh, man. It's crazy that I said it too, that with the first leg, what we saw, it finished off 2-1 in Bayern's favor away as well. Going into this game at the Allianz Arena, they're playing at home. But that 2-1 deficit in the first leg, I thought was going to be a problem for Bayern Munich. And it seemed to be a problem for them in the beginning of the game. Just not even 1 minute into the game, Manuel Neuer, who had an exceptional game in the first leg, absolutely terrible ball, trying to send it out to a player. Güler intercepts it, and from half field, almost half field, scores in an empty net. And at that point, I thought, wow, this is actually going to happen. Real Madrid is actually going to come back. And again, this is what I was scared of. This is the exact reason why I said, Bayern Munich, you shot yourself in the foot in that first leg, only finishing 2-1, because they could have gone out in that first leg and absolutely destroyed them. I think the players just stopped, they put, again, like I said, they put it back to gear one. They stopped trying, I believe, in the second half, closer to the end. And I thought right at that point when Güler scored, I'm like, this is it. Real Madrid's actually to come back and win this game. And as a Barca fan, like I said, there's nothing more that I hate when Real Madrid does good in the Champions League. So, yeah, 1 minute into the game, Güler scores the goal. And thankfully, Bayern Munich decide to, turn themselves on. Let's actually start playing the game. And just in the 6th minute, Bayern Munich bounce back and score their goal. Pavlovic scores after a corner from Kimmich. And again, to be honest, I think Lunin and Neuer were trying to one-up each other to be the worst goalie of this game, because Kimmich with a great cross. It was a great corner kick. He tries to find the first post, finds near post. Pavlovic by himself in the 6-yard box somehow gets a clear header to the ball and just has to nick it in the net. Lunin, I have no idea what he's doing. For some reason, he's behind Pavlovic. No single player is covering the front post. It somehow finds Pavlovic perfectly by himself. I think he had someone on his back, but again, how is no one in front of him? How is the goalie not around him? Why is the goalie not coming up and trying to get that ball? Lunin, after Pavlovic headers it, tries to get in front or something like that, but completely out of position. And Pavlovic scores it and makes it 1-1, draws the game 1-1 at home. Obviously, at that point, it was 3-2, I believe. 3-2 in the aggregate. And I was thinking, okay, let's calm down. Okay, this is we got to relax, because clearly Bayern Munich are just, I don't know, they're just overthinking it maybe, but I can see Bayern Munich scoring more goals. But then again, just after that, this first half was absolutely crazy. I haven't seen a first half like this in world football, in Champions League football in a while. We had, I believe, 4 or 5 goals. 5 goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 5 goals in the first half. What is this? This is absolute cinema, man. And again, at the basis of football, you just want to be entertained. And this is exactly what we got. Even as a Barcelona fan, this game for me was absolutely entertaining to watch. Thankfully, Madrid lost, but let's move on to the game. And in the 29th minute, with a free kick for Real Madrid, Arda Güler scores a beautiful free kick. Yes, I agree. It was an absolute beautiful free kick. But Neuer, what are you doing? His positioning in that free kick, I'm not sure if he realized that Güler was going to shoot right away, or like he wasn't ready for the shot. But Neuer gets a hand to it somehow. But like he was like walking to it. Any goalie would have been diving to that, try to get a nice hand and just try to hit it out. I don't know how Neuer was reacting to that. It just seemed off. It seemed very, very off from Neuer. Most goalies, like I said, are going to dive for that free kick and smack that out. Neuer seemed to like jockey to that side. He gets a hand to it, but obviously not strong enough to keep it out. And then Neuer actually falls into his own net as well. Just a very, very weird free kick. I mean, Güler to get it on target with that power and around or over the wall. I mean, kudos to him. But Neuer, man, I'm sorry. If that's Joan Garcia, he's saving that. He is saving that. He almost saved that one free kick against Julian Alvarez in Atletico Madrid. But yeah, at that moment, it was 2-1 Real Madrid. And again, it was tied 3-3 on aggregate, I believe. And I was thinking again, just the emotions coming into my head. Oh my gosh, is it actually going to happen? Is Madrid going to do this? Is Bayern Munich going to fumble? What is happening? Like, there's so many mistakes happening in these first couple goals. I'm like, I don't know what to expect anymore. This game is going to go either fully one way or fully the other way. And it's just, I was losing my mind. I was completely losing my mind. But then again, Bayern Munich says, all right, let's put a break to this and let's actually try. And Harry Kane scores in the 38th minute. Vintage Harry Kane type of goal. It was the whole play started off with a great counterattack from Bayern Munich. There were some couple chances just before Kane scored where they're trying to shoot, a little deflections off here and there, good momentum and movement from the Bayern players to pass the ball around. And then for some reason, I don't know how, Upamecano finds himself on the ball and sends a beautiful through ball. I don't know how he picked off Harry Kane like that, but Upamecano somehow finds Harry Kane with a beautiful through ball through two guys, and Harry Kane gets a beautiful soft touch inside the box. He has Militao in front of him. He has, I think, Trent trying to run towards him. And with the time that he has and the experience and the quality that he has, you would think a normal striker, and to be honest, yeah, a normal striker at this moment would be trying to rush themselves to just shoot the ball. You have the ball, you're in the box, shoot the ball, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. That's what a normal striker would do. But a world-class generational striker like Harry Kane understood the assignment, and once he got that ball from Upamecano, he looked up, he analyzed the situation, and he understood that he had time to see what the other team was going to do, and scores a beautiful goal. Like I said, that is a world-class finish there, because like any striker would just try to shoot that ball. Harry Kane gets the ball, super composed in the box, and at his time, when he thinks it's right, he shot that ball. Beautiful goal, side netting. And at that point, back again up by one goal. It's like, dude, what is happening in this game? Harry Kane scores a goal. And again, Harry Kane, he is absolutely outstanding. I would love to see him at Barcelona, but who knows if that's going to happen. Knock on wood. Hopefully it does. We need a player like that. But then again, not too long after that, a couple minutes after that, the dictator, Mbappe, decides to score in the 42nd minute with another mistake from Bayern Munich. I think they just I don't know. Sometimes this defensive line that Bayern Munich has, they just shut down. Mentally, they just shut down and they just lose focus. And that's all that Real Madrid needs to counterattack. Real Madrid, like I said, in the Champions League, it doesn't matter what is happening in the game. They can have 20% possession. The other team can have full possession of the game, overall play of the game. But Real Madrid, all they need is just one chance. And with that one chance, Kylian Mbappe, I believe, or I forgot who it was, someone sends the ball to Vinny Jr. on the left-hand side. Vinny Jr. with the pace that he has, of course, with that counter-attacking pace, finds himself getting through the defense of Bayern trying to track back. Mbappe makes a beautiful run. No one catches him making that run. He finds himself in the box to be honest, by himself. And then Vinny Jr. just has to kind of send that pass through, simple pass, and then Mbappe just finishes the bottom left corner. And just like that, again, the game is tied in aggregate going into halftime. And at this point, it's like, dude, 5 goals in the first half. We're going to see a game that has 10 goals, 11 goals, 12 goals. I truly didn't even know how many goals were going to be scored in this game, because 5 goals in a first half in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, second leg as well, is unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. But I loved it. I loved it. Of course, I was stressed as a Barca fan knowing that Madrid have a chance to make it through it. But if you're just a football fan, if you're not a fan of Madrid or Bayern Munich and you're just watching this game, that half right there, peak football. Absolute peak football right there. But then, yeah, going into the second half, nothing too crazy to talk about until the kind of the dying end of that half. A big moment though, Kylian Mbappe finds himself in the back post. It was a cross from I forgot who, maybe Jude, maybe Trent. But Kylian Mbappe finds himself by himself again. Like I said before, Bayern Munich, for some reason, at some points, the defensive line just turns off and they just completely leave players open. So Kylian Mbappe by himself in the back post. A cross comes in on the volley. Beautiful shot on target. But Manuel Neuer, after the mishaps he had in the first half, in the second half, a completely different goalie. Manuel Neuer, this was the player that we saw in the first leg. The positioning was perfect. Kylian Mbappe hits it on the one. Powerful shot, powerful volley, and Neuer just puts a hand out, strong, stiff hand, and saves that ball from going in. That right there was a key, huge moment for Bayern Munich and for Real Madrid in this match. And thankfully Neuer was in the best moment possible, best position possible to save that. And yeah, at that point, obviously, Real Madrid are going to go all out. They have to get that goal. They have to score. Bayern Munich also have to score. Like, at the end of the day, it's still tied at this point, aggregate. And in the 89th minute, before the goal, in the 86th minute, Manley Camavinga finds himself getting a red card in this game. And to be honest, a stupid one at that too. I will not be biased in this. That was not a red card. That was not a red card. He was already on a yellow card. I'm not sure if the ref forgot that he was already on a yellow card. But Camavinga does foul the player. Very, very soft player. I believe he fouls Harry Kane. Very, very soft foul. It was going on a counterattack for Bayern Munich. It was a completely strategic foul. I would have done it as well. Anyone would have done that foul. But it was a very, very soft foul. Camavinga then grabs the ball, tries to waste time as his players start to come back and try to defend. He drops the ball later on, turns around and sees himself getting a red card. So that's my thing. I'm not sure if it was from the foul or from him trying to waste time when he was trying to hold the ball. Guys, let me know in the comments down below if that's a red card to you or not. To be honest, I do not think that's a red card. And it's crazy because that was in the 86th minute. At this point, it was still tied in aggregate. And losing a midfielder like Camavinga, yes, again, he's not the best midfielder. But at the end of the day, he has a lot of great qualities in his game. He's going to be running. He's going to be all over the pitch. He's going to be a guy that's going to be able to be strong and stiff and cover players, push them off the ball. So a player like him getting a red card completely changes the game, even though it's just a couple minutes left in the second half. But even if it went to extra time, going down a man is not good. But then in the 89th minute, man like Luis Diaz, man, didn't have the best game, but that's the one thing with Luis Diaz. All you need for him is to get the ball and take those shots. And in the 89th minute, off a deflection, I'll give you that, Luis Diaz scores to bring Bayern Munich 1 goal ahead in the aggregate score, just a minute off from full time. And at this moment, I could finally relax. I was finally calming down. My heart, my pressure, everything was going off the charts. But Luis Diaz gets a beautiful goal, cuts in, strikes it super hard. Unfortunately, hits off Militao, I think, gets a deflection, and Lunin cannot get his hand on that ball. But at this moment, man, I was laughing. I was feeling absolutely amazing. I understand Bayern are out. Sorry, I understand that Barcelona are out of the Champions League, but I'm thankful that at this point I thought Real Madrid were out too. We cannot have Real Madrid winning another Champions League or go any further because this team right here, ooh, I think we can all collectively say as football fans, one, if you're not an Arsenal fan, we all don't like Arsenal. If you're not a Madrid fan, we all don't like Madrid as well. I'm just saying that's the truth. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or not. But then, at that point where I thought the game was absolutely done, where it was over, man like Olise decides to get the ball in the 90th plus 4 minutes, basically the last couple seconds of the match of extra time, gets the ball on a little bit of a counter attack. He's like, you know what? Let me get my own. Let me get my goal. Cuts in and a beautiful finesse shot just outside the box. He wasn't even trying with this shot. Beautiful finesse, hits off the post, the left post, and goes in. And he just absolutely shuts up all the Madrid players and the fans, scoring the last second goal. It was funny because as they were celebrating, the referee blows the whistle for full time. But again, that right there just shows you the quality that Bayern Munich has. All three forwards, Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, and Olise scored in this match. And again, it's not against a scrub team. This is Real Madrid. This is a team that their only focus is the Champions League. Of course, they want to fight for La Liga, but this is a team where all they want is Champions League status. So for Bayern Munich to come out in this game and absolutely destroy them, humble them with an aggregate score of 6-4, absolutely peak, and I loved every moment of it. Again, as a Barca fan, sometimes I get more happy, I get more emotional seeing Madrid lose than Barcelona win. I don't know. Call me weird. Let me know in the comments down below if you feel the same thing, but I love to hate watch Real Madrid more than I love to watch Barcelona win because my hatred for Madrid is so strong, man. It's super, super strong. I love to see them lose. But let me know in the comments down below if you can agree with me on that or not. But yeah, 6-4 on aggregate. Bayern Munich find themselves going to the semifinals of the Champions League and will now be facing off against PSG. This game right here, PSG versus Bayern Munich, is basically the finals to me. That game right there is going to show off who is the best team in the world. We have Bayern Munich with a powerhouse front three. We have PSG with an absolute world-class squad, reigning champs of the Champions League as well. So this right here is going to be a matchup that's, I already know, is going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have so many goals in that game. We're going to have so many great moments. But then on the other side, we have Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. And again, like I said, that game right there is going to be an absolute snooze fest. Those are two teams with two coaches that they don't want to go out and win. Their mentality is to go out there and not lose. That's the mentality that they have. And I'm sorry, that's not the mentality of a winning team. That right there is not the mentality of a winning team that's going to go out and win a Champions League. Because I think with the mentality of a Bayern Munich, with the mentality that PSG has, with the coach like Luis Enrique, with the coach like Company and the players that they have, those are players that want to win. Those are players that want to go out there and get the winning goal. Arsenal and Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, are scared, and those guys just don't want to lose. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. But the semifinal matches are finally set. Like I said, PSG versus Bayern Munich and Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. Let me know, guys, who you have winning the Champions League. I'll be coming up with a video later on in a couple days or maybe tomorrow talking about those matches and what my predictions are for those matches. But before then, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ciao, ciao.